think about every year
Mm-hmm.
on January 1st, what does everybody do?
Set goals.
Set goals. Yeah, what are they? We call them, we often call them what? Like New Year resolutions.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm going to set my resolutions. And I don't remember. I heard a statistic not too long ago about how often those fail. And I think it just takes like a couple, I think it's within the first few weeks of the year, people drop off of them. But why do you think people want to set resolutions, and why do you think we might not do well at them?
I think it's a societal or a cultural pressure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a tradition now.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, you have to set a goal for yourself.
Right.
In the new
what are you
year.
going to do? Yeah. New year,
Because
new
everyone
you.
else is doing it,
Yeah.
So I think that it's just accumulating pressure on people that's not needed.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think social media adds to that pressure too.
Yeah, people post.
Yeah, seeing what their goals are.
Yeah.
I think for some people it helps keep them accountable when they post to social media or something like that. But then I think like how even at the end of the year you see highlight reels for everyone, and then with posting resolutions you see everyone post those, and so you want to be part of that. I think it's also a desire, like I think part of that is our desire to have community, because even if we talk about how we don't want it, we're built for community, we're designed for it, and social media, sometimes people use that as a way to get it, even though it's not true community a lot of the time. So,
Yeah. And so we can tend to, at the beginning of every year, just want to set those resolutions. We set these goals, and then like we talked about, they fall off, and we're like, and then you get frustrated, you get really discontent with yourself. Some might, I don't know, beat themselves up. Like, what's the point of resolutions, right? And then we think it's either our fault or the resolution's fault.
Yeah.
Why do you, as we think about kind of the word fail in resolutions, when we think about that, when people fail, we'll put that kind of in quotes, on their resolution, why do you think they might do that or have that happen?
Well, it goes back to what we were discussing earlier about us doing things for ourselves, the self-care. So this resolution that you made, did you make it for yourself, or did you make it because, what Taylor said, social media?
Right.
So that's the question that you should be asking yourself. Is this for me, or is it for everyone around me to see and congratulate me?
Right. So what's the intent behind the resolution? Is it just to have a resolution? I did the thing, look at me, woohoo. Or is there a purpose behind it, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Then I think along with that is people don't set realistic expectations for themselves. So it's like people are like, I'm going to work out 5 days a week. Well, if you haven't been doing that, you're probably not going to do that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You can't just go from nothing to everything, right? Like, I was sitting on the couch eating chocolate every day and ice cream every day, and I haven't exercised in 6 months, but January 1, I'm going to eat salads every day, and I'm going to exercise for 1 hour each day. And I say that kind of in jest, but many times people do that, right? And I think, I don't know about you guys, but I know I've been guilty of trying to set these really high goals. And the reason why we often fail at them is because we set goals that don't fit with really who we are.
Yeah.
They don't go back. They don't resonate with our values. They don't, we kind of worked on this as a staff this year, is this in 2023, but it's, we need, going back to what is the why behind your goal? What's the purpose? Because if you don't know what your why is, then
it's a lot harder to be motivated.
Right. Like we just stick with weight loss, right? Because that's the big one everybody does. And January 1, everybody's going to lose weight. Like everybody's at the gym. Everybody's at the gym, right?
Yep.
But why are you at the gym? Why do you need to lose weight? Is it, if your goal or your purpose is because I want to be skinnier, okay, But is that deep enough? Is that deep enough to keep you motivated? And I think sometimes we got to drill down that why. Like, why do you need to be skinnier? Is it to impress others? Well, does that really fit with your values? Or is it because you're trying to be healthier because you've seen the impact of weight on other people that you love and care about? And you've seen how it's detrimentally affected them. And you want to make a change for yourself and be an example for others. Now, when you get down to that why feels a little more powerful than because I want to look good, right? And so it's drilling down that why I think is really important. Often when we set goals, we kind of stop at that top level or that surface level of goal setting. And then we just go, well, I set my goal. I know I need to do it. Fitness is good. So therefore that's my why. Well, maybe you need to drill it down. So that's what I would say is we kind of got to drill down our goals. I think another thing that we miss out when we set goals, another strategy we can use for those new beginnings is accountability. And that's something, again, in the therapeutic world we talk about a lot is accountability because it's really important to be able to meet our goals, meet our objectives. When you guys think about accountability, what are some ways that you think you could use accountability, benefits of it? Just what kind of thoughts come up when you think about it?
Well, the first thing that pops up in my head with accountabilities is boundaries. So your personal beliefs are boundaries you have to keep within yourself and hold true to yourself. And if you're not doing that, could you consider yourself being accountable?
Okay. That's good.
So that's one accountability that's really big to me.
That's really good. So knowing who you are, knowing what your limitations are.
Right.
Because it's really hard to be accountable for something if you don't know where the parameters are. Yeah, because how can you be held accountable for something if you don't know what you're asking to be held accountable to? It's good.
Yeah, it is good. I don't know that I think of accountability outside of like someone else holding me accountable, but I think recently I've learned to hold myself accountable and not just rely on other people to hold me accountable. And I do think having other people hold you accountable is helpful, like just to stick to the workout thing. I think it's always easier when you have someone doing that with you.
For
sure.
sure.
You have that accountability and you almost think like, I don't want to disappoint this person. And you might not even be disappointing them, but you're still going to feel a little bit of that, and it helps you stick to your goals.
Yeah. So it is good, right? Because when we have that community around us, it kind of goes back to community and accountability. I think kind of go hand in hand. We have those around us. It makes us more prone. We have a higher probability of accomplishing our goals, like Taylor was saying, because we have someone there cheering us along. I mean, I kind of think about, it's really an accountability, but it's an example that popped in my head. I don't know if it's a good example, but I'm going to go ahead and share it. But I think about sports teams. If they didn't have fans, in a way, their fans are their accountability. Because if they didn't have a fan base, what would propel them to work harder, to do better, if nobody ever saw them play?